Popeyes, coming up from Eanix, we do see that Vox being banned out for themselves.
Every game we've seen Eanix ban away Vox. They just don't want it to be played by, and Baron again banned away. If you as Team B, you're never going to go to kick Baron, so they ban it away. Lyra is very similar drafts to like all the games that have been played between Eanix and Popeyes today. They want to pick Lyra, they want to pick Grace. We're just going to see a mirror draft of what happened last game, and then they're going to ban Samuel and they're going to ban Kestrel.
Oh wow, you are spot on with those bans coming out. Honestly, I don't think the side of Popeyes played, not the side of Popeyes, sorry, the side of Eanix played well to their team comp at all whatsoever. The honest reason is because I personally think that Grumjoy is so much stronger as compared to a Grace, compared to a Koshka in the early game if you have a Grace. But instead of doing that, they played really passively in that previous game and just allowed so much breathing space for the side of Popeyes, and that was what that went wrong for Eanix. I think Eanix itself, they are a really strong team comparable to that of Popeyes. We saw them play yesterday and they were very convincing. So honestly, coming to this third game, just this tiebreaker between both of these teams, I like to see both of these teams play to their strengths, understanding where their power spikes are. We do see that the Samuel banned out, that Baron banned out, like similar to that of that previous draft. And of course, coming up from the side of Eanix, we do see a Baptiste being banned out.
Yeah, Baptiste ban. We haven't seen a lot of Baptiste played. We saw him a little bit earlier today, but he's been banned quite a lot. He's a good counter to a lot of mobile heroes, and most heroes on the fold are very mobile, especially Grace. She has so much range on her.
Yeah. Okay, so I think you kind of cut off, so we'll just continue with draft. Popeyes will be going for that Adagio yet again, just Aeon 22, Aeon 222 on this Adagio. I must say, he went for the Castro in the first game, and for the second game, he opted for this Adagio, and it's quite an interesting pickup because we do see that, oh, you are back, welcome back. So we do see
I
that.
I don't know why I went.
Yeah, so we do see this Adagio being picked up for the side of Popeyes again. So they might run that early game team comp, although in response to Adagio, we do see a Glaive being picked up. I think that Glaive is really good into Adagio. What are your thoughts, Minnie?
Yeah, Glaive's good. You can afterburn Adagio out of the Verse of Judgment, and also if they decide to go Weapon Adagio again, then they might go. Then you can punt Adagio away from your team, away from that scarf that they're going to play. So I like the fact they're going for the weapon lane Glaive instead of going for a CP Glaive and going for weapon carry. This could be countered by Baptiste, but of course it's been banned away. So that was a really good ban. Baptiste is great into Glaive and good against Scarf with that fearsome shade to get her out of her Dragon's Breath and the Ordained to lock her in place so she can't do Dragon's Breath. Koshka could work here, but they're not gonna. No, I don't think they should go Koshka. The weapon Adagio Koshka, it worked last game. But obviously I think Weapon Glaive is actually going to go damage in this game. So that means that you can't just have two people diving onto Scarf and leave the Adagio to die to Glaive, because he will die quite quickly. I think Celeste could work. They could try a Celeste with Weapon Adagio, because there aren't that many, unless they go for an on-hit Grace.
Yeah.
Like a weapon power, it's more of a CP Grace or a Crystal Power Adagio in the jungle. Then they could do a weapon power lane like an Idris, who's Glaive's really good against. They could try Kestrel, but I think they're more likely to do a weapon Adagio because there are just so many more stronger CP junglers.
Well, yeah, definitely. Or they can go for that weapon Glaive, weapon Grace, just to pair up with that Glaive. Problem with that is that there is a Lyra constantly there to provide that bright bulwark after all. So we might see a weapon Grace. If that is so, then of course we have the Rome Adagio, and they can go in for that crystal, that Celeste, just to pair up, just to outpoke, or just to compare poke with that Scarf, or they can just go for that early game Koshka again, because Koshka paired with Rome Adagio is very, very, very strong. And then they have double healing. This time, if they are going to go for the on-hit Grace, a weapon Grace, and then a Rome Adagio, that would amplify the healing even so much more as compared to the previous game when Grace was there as the Roma, because generally the Captain Adagio would just want to build health or defense items that boost health anyways. So I'm quite interested to see what's the last pick, because the final pick will kind of decide what the teams and the players would go on that certain hero. But I'm not surprised if you do actually see the Captain Grace and of course the Weapon Adagio, then completing that, of course, a Crystal Carry in the jungle.
Yeah, I think the problem with going a Weapon Power Grace is that every single bit of Grace's kit scales with Crystal Power. All of her abilities and her basic attacks scale with Crystal Power. And so it seems crazy to go Weapon Power Grace, because you're just taking away all of that scaling. Your A does a bit more damage, and your basics obviously do more damage because your weapon. When you're Crystal, your basics still do quite a lot, and you get a bigger slow when you go Crystal Power. And so I think they should go either CP Grace or they should go Rome Grace.
Well, yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's either on-hit Grace or that CP Grace that they're talking about. Anyways, what is the problem?
The last pick was Koshka. The drop climb wasn't quite working properly.
Okay, so as expected, coming out from the side of Team Popeyes, they are falling back to double heal comp, and then of course that Weapon Adagio will be placed in lane, and of course we saw Chingy and how strong Chingy is on that Koshka. So I'm not surprised, and I'm sure you're not surprised as well to see Koshka yet again coming out from the side of Popeyes, and Chingy will be on it. Honestly, looking at draft itself, I must say it just goes down to execution, because I reckon it's either that Glaive will be in lane, but I personally don't think that they'll put a Glaive in lane. There is this feeling in me that they are going to put that Scarf in lane, just so that Glaive can go on a 1v1 with this Koshka. Yeah, but then again, they might just go against me anyways, which they always do anyways, because I personally think that Scarf into Koshka is just not a very good early jungle for you. Koshka can just like go all over you and just rummage all over you. So I don't think it's a very clever pick if you're going to put the Glaive in the lane and then Scarf in the jungle. But then we are going to see trophies on that Scarf. We are going to see a Scarf being in lane, and then of course Angry Udai on that Glaive will be in jungle contesting with Chingy.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think that it's a very similar draft from both teams. Obviously, Popeye's going for their double heal Koshka comp again, just a Grace instead of a Lyra, and Eanix going for a Crystal Power Mage, a healer, and a Weapon Power Jungler to try and peel for the Crystal Power Mage. I think this should work better than the Grumpjaw. Glaive's Afterburn is up more often than Stuffed, and in some ways is better. Because you can push Koshka away without having to run away yourself. With Grumpjaw, if you want to eat Koshka and push her away, you have to physically run away yourself and then plop her down somewhere else. But Glaive can just afterburn Koshka away, even if Scarf gets stunned, Glaive can just punt Koshka out of that stun. As we see, Tesla Boy is going in aggressive against Rubber Monkey. It makes sense with Grace. You want to go aggressive early on. You're so quick that you're not really going to die because you can just run away. But I think Iron Udai will be much better off this game if he goes for at least three damage items, because that's what he needs. He needs to have to burst Aeon down on his Weapon Power Adagio, and he needs to be able to make sure that either Aeon buys defense on Glaive or Glaive will kill him. Because in the last game, Aeon did buy defense on Grumpjaw, Grumpjaw didn't kill him. Iron Udai going to obviously take poke from Shingy. Shingy's much stronger early game, but he's Glaive, he'll be able to get away without any.
Well, yeah, definitely. There is one thing I must say though. We've seen Angry Udai on this Glaive, and he would usually go for at least 3 damage items on this Grace, unlike the previous game. And hopefully he does. And oh, that's a bit yawn. And and there is one thing that I must say though. If Angry Udai on this Glaive do actually go for the on-hit Grace, I'll be severely disappointed. And And because in the previous game, Glaive played like another sub role, basically like a sub tank role, or an off tank from other MOBAs, basically like an off tank, just a support role, and that isn't really needed from a Grumjoy. You really need the damage just to compare damage into Chingy on that Koshka. So
and Glaive's gonna go low again, but he's gonna have to run away. Chingy can basically take whatever jungle you want on Koshka, because Glaive can't fight you. Glaive just has to afterburn defensively every time, because Koshka's so strong. And she's going to probably hide in this bush, wait for Glaive. Glaive did not see her, so she's going to have to rush up to lane. Scarf could be in trouble. Rub Monkey's going to spot out Tessa Boy, and she wants to get some farm, but Glaive just standing by my back, taking them as soon as they spawn. So if Koshka tries to invade, Glaive's already taken the jungle, which is really smart. Aeon's actually quite low. Good poke from Scarf in lane. Tessa Boy and Aeon just going to back to the base. Koshka wants to invade, but again, there's nothing up because Iron Gudai's just taken it, so we can happily afterburn him.
Oh yeah, but we do see the damage coming out from Chingy just with 2 crystal bit. They are going to go for, Chingy might find himself in a very tight situation now.
Chingy will be able to get away. He's going to try and port. He's probably going to try and steal this minion away. Won't quite get it. Chingy's not in a good position. There's after 2 seconds for my die. Good holding over from Grace, picking up 2 kills. Picking up 2 stuns, sorry. The first blood will go over to Koshka. It does look like Iron Gudai's going to boot switch. Chingy's going to try and run, but will not be able to get away. Chingy's boost was not up because Iron Gudai boosted after her. And now Grace is going to go to Glaive's backs and he's going to try and get them. Iron Gudai is also going to the backs and he's spotted Chingy's trying to steal them. Afterwards up in 1 second. And that's going to be 2 backs for Glaive, nothing for Tessa Boy. And Iron Gudai is going to get his farm and be really happy that he's got a kill on Koshka and that Koshka didn't just delete him early game because he could run away really effectively.
Yeah, but I must say, I really like this item build-up coming out from Chingy, with that Heavy Prism first as an item, then building into an Eclipse Prism, and ultimately that Aftershock. So, Rubber Monkey is getting really low again.
Yeah, he's going to Imperial Sigil away and be fine. Tessa Boy, however, is going to Rubber Monkey out. Position. Koshka now under turret. A lovely goop from Scarf to keep Koshka under the turret. If you don't ignite it, that goop gives it probably, I think, it's the largest slow in the game. It's slightly bigger than Flicker's once Flicker got nerfed. And so that's just Truffy's just using that goop to keep Koshka under turret. And then once he was going to be out, she's igniting it. Nice afterburn, getting Aeon low, so he has to back off towards the turret. Iron Gudai just going to port home, and Truffy's going to push this wave in. Glaive has now picked up the tension bow. Looks like he's going to be going towards the tornado trigger or a breaking point or weapon power damage. Doesn't look like he's going for the on-hit Glaive, which I'm happy with.
I'm glad for as well.
Stormcrown.
Yeah, I hope I do not see a Stormcrown on Iron Gudai, and I think both of us share similar consensus that we just want this Glaive to be that weapon carry that he never was in that previous game. Chingy is going for a Rubber Monkey again, but they are going to back off after all. Like I said earlier on, you know, this game looks rather, like I wanted to say, rather even, right? Just kills being traded out, but then Iron Gudai is coming up late.
Yeah, that's a big wave for Truffy's, but you've got a goop who're going to clear that very quickly. Shingy is level 6, so that's a Yummy Cat Frenzy available, and unlike in the last game, when Grumjoy hit level 6, he got his stuffed. When Glaive hits a little bit of sustain and about 10 more damage, and that's it, because Glaive just never, his ultimate is pretty useless on weapon power especially. He has a little bit of CP damage. So that's a big power spike for Shingy. However, Iron Gudai needs level 8 before he gets his real power spike. There's going to get him, but the Uppercutting Frenzy under Sentry, risky because there's the Imperial Sigil, and there's some Truffy's as well. Lovely after from Glaive. Fountain was used, but it's a little bit late, and Shingy is going to fall. Doesn't quite have enough gold for the Aftershock yet. Still went for the Heavy Prism into Aftershock, and now Glaive's going to dive to Tessa Boy, but that's Grace. You're not going to catch up to Grace. She's too quick. Just going to take the Trin away, and we'll get it. Just using the to secure that with Glaive, and just Eanix rotates back up to lane. Got a kill on Koshka. I'm sure Iron Gudai is very happy with how this game is going.
Well, yeah, I mean, Iron Gudai.
On to Aeon, there's the slow. He's going to stand still and try and kill him, but it's not going to work. I think they're going to get some good base attacks onto Tesla Boy. Not quite going to dive turret too deep to get him. Koshka's rotating up, but you can't do anything. There's 3 full health members of Eanix, and you've just got a turret. The Shiggy's going to try and kill his wave, but I doubt we'll be able to stop the Scarf taking this turret if she wants to. So it's going low. I reckon Shiggy's going to try her best to take down these minions. I think you guys on the turret, but there's Aeon boosting towards the turret to stop it falling. So that's only about 1/3 health left on the turret, but it did not fall. So well played by Aeon, getting back to lane really quickly.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, their response, they're really, really quick. But then Truffy's on his Scarf. We cannot deny the fact that Scarf has got such good siege potential. I mean, objective clearance coming out from Scarf is just insane. And that is the reason why Scarf is generally placed in the jungle, because of how fast his clear is. I agree, Dai kind of struggled in the early game against Koshka, but after getting that tension bow, probably building into the breaking point, which I'm happy seeing, and I'm sure you're happy seeing as well. Just a lot of damage coming out from I Agree You Die. It is always good for a glaive. They are coming up. All 3 are in lane. All 6 are in lane. They will be looking for a fight.
I think you guys going to go into push up and hit the frenzy. Will stun him up, but you got the afterband out just in time. So now Funky is going to go in, and that is going to be argued. Forward and bounce to the top of the Funky, but it wasn't enough. The burst from the aftershock was too much. Now Truffy's is taking the same thing. Divine Intervention on Shingy, get her back up to full health, but Monkey's going to counter that by saying, okay, you've got 400 heal, I've got 306, and mine's already up in 2 seconds. So Truffy should be able to spend this turret Scarf, could just clear this wave so quickly that there's really no chance of almost to take the turret down. This is always going to go into Truffy's, and Shingy's going to get the turret very low. Scarf needs to take that minion out. Now the turret will get a barrier. Arcane Passage on Bruce trying to get on top of Shingy, but she's got a sleep boost, going to get away. There's the Dragon's Breath, and don't want to dive on the turret, so just Dragon's Breath for minions, I guess. if you use it wrong, might as well secure some farm, and this will be a return turret for Eanix. I doubt Kosh is going to get there in time, but actually Truffy's is low on energy, so we'll be able to get a Spitfire and a Goot just about, and yeah, Kosh is not going to be able to stop that. So 1 turret each, but a 2k gold lead for Eanix is really good. You're up against the Kosh.
Well,
you want to be ahead.
Well, I mean, that turret on the side of Eanix hasn't been quite taken down. It is really, really close, but...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not... Oh, they are going in for that gold miner.
Beast has no energy. The fountain's all right, but you need energy, Scarf. You can't just basic attack for that much damage. So Shingy did go low, so he's also low on energy, so we're going to try and do the wall jump, but Dave's going to arm hunt away. Aeon's going low, but I think that is going to fall. And that's going to be Koshka wanting to go in, taking some poke from the gold mine. And Truffy's full health, no energy. That's 4 people walking home, and no one wants to fight right now.
You know, I personally do not think that I Agree You Die, that move by I Agree You Die is a very clever or intelligent move coming up from the side of Eanix. Only reason is because you must know that Scarf thrives on this energy. If Scarf do not have energy, and if you do go in for that afterburn, there is no setup at all for your team. You are just running head first into a team of 3, waiting to just perish. So it's just misplay coming out from the side of Eanix, but then they are still holding well. Scarf has got very excellent, very good wave clear. There is no reason the wave will be pushed so hard into Scarf. Oh, Tesla Boy is taken down to half health.
Tesla Boy taking some poke from the Spitfire and Goop from the Scarf. There's no turret for Popeyes that they can fall back to, so they're going to have to go to that tier 2 turret, and Eanix going to rotate down, look for some jungle, or possibly look for the gold mine. It'd be risky. Obviously, Popeyes are going to look for the steal if they do go for it. Infusion's picked up for Scarf and Koshka, and they are popped immediately. There's no slots available, so both Scarf and Koshka are infused. Steal is going to be tried by Tesla Boy. Lovely ball walk. He strolls away like it's nothing. I do this every day. I steal gold mines with my basic attacks. Aeon using the weapon power dodge extremely well. We saw him comfortable on it in the last game, comfortable in this game. That's good. I think that was tension mode proc as well, which was smart. Let tension mode proc to try and steal that gold mine. Waves pushed, but afterwards punched Koshka away. That being the other direction, Koshka probably would have fallen even with the reflex block. Shingy's going to back off, get her farm, and Eanix wants to push this wave in. Adagio's taking the farm with Koshka, so he's not in the best position. And Eanix is going to get this turret a little bit poked now. It's going to back off, push the wave in, and Scarf's going to run away. Shingy wants to try and chase, but not too deep. Shingy's still just going to get her farm, and both teams are going to back off. Nope, Potenzbo's going to go in. Just a little bit of poke from both. As we're down with that overdriven benediction. So he can really dive in from far away, but after not quite on the uppercut defense, he's going to land. Went the goop from Scarf, gone up, yeah, so that was a good time from Shingy. There's the goop, got some damage onto, there's a boy who went in under the goop, forced the fountain to be used so that he would survive that goop from Scarf. Aigudai is low, hasn't quite got a block, he's going to get one now. And I like the tension burst on lane, but I was worried he wasn't going to get a third damage item. It looks like that he's not going to sell the Swift Shooter. That will be probably a Tornado Trigger, maybe a breaking point last item on Glaive. So that means Aeon has now built tier 2 defense on Glaive, whereas in the last game, he got an Aegis and nothing on Grumpjaw. But this game, a Dungeon can't go 4 damage, or else he'll die to either Glaive or Struffles.
Well, yeah, the last one, there is one thing that I would like to point out. And it's that a lot of these fights, they are kind of going back and forth. Even just looking at the goal difference and the kills across the scoreboard, it's just one kill in favor for the side of Eanix. And even if goal difference, it is a few hundreds goal difference for the side of Eanix as well. So, honestly, and a lot of afterburns coming up from Angry, like, ooh.
But Shingy's going to take it after, we're going to block the stun. Here's the Dragon's Metal Scarf, ever going to frenzy, we blocked up. That's going to be Koshika falling to the Glaive going late, a nice 440 heal from Lyra. That's the stun, instable. Aeon's going to get the final mention and will be healthy. He's actually going to get the kill on Glaive, but Truffy's is going to go into Aeon. Spitfire's going to land, another Spitfire is up. There's the goop. Going to get a little bit of poke. Aeon's going to try and 1v1 with some stutter stepping. He's going to do a lot of damage. I don't think Truffy's can really contest this unless he lands another Spitfire. He knows what Aeon is. He's not in that bush. He's going to get home. Greedy port, overpowered. That's how you port home. You just start it. They're not going to stop you. Get in the bush and just port. That's always the way to do it. So Aeon did manage to survive, and it looked like he shouldn't be able to. He saw the damage Weapon Adagio did. He managed to secure the kill on Glaive. That Shingy might have picked that one up, and then basically stopped 1v2. Stopped Truffy's diving in to try and secure the kill. So they really need to respect this Adagio's damage.
Whoa, yeah, definitely. I mean, just looking at Aeon and this Adagio, it's just incredible, because we would think, Weapon Adagio, they do not generally have that damage, and we go on and on about it as analysts or even colorers or even just shoutcasters in general, but then Aeon on this Adagio is proving us wrong. And we are saying that Angry Udai is going in for that Poison Shift just because we saw the amount of heals that Grace brought out on this that is always fun to see.
Bubble walk, stopping that Grace in attack. The stun is going to land. He was not blocked. They've not after the Koshika away. Truffy's going to fall immediately. If Koshika gets on top of Truffy's is just going to die. Glaive hasn't got defense. Double kill for Adagio. Glaive not really after bad Boy, which wasn't really the target he wanted. Shingy's going to be healthy again for that Divine Intervention Grace. Echo was used on Grace to get that second heal, so that's really important. Lyra's trying to get one but hasn't been. I think it's about 250 gold away from getting it. Lyra wants to steal. He's got an Imperial Sigil. He's going to wait, but no, the Imperial Sigil went too quickly. He's going to basic attack it, or maybe walk it to try and steal, but it's not going to get near. And Arcane Passage, just to make sure you're okay. It was worth it to go for the steal. Obviously, Adagio stole the gold mine, and that's just all three immediately. Popeyes immediately taking the Kraken, immediate port home. It does make sense because they know Eanix aren't going to be taking Kraken immediately, and so they'll port home straight away. They'll be back pretty much from when the Kraken's find the first tower.
Well, they are going to plan a siege, and they are going to take this first turret down. It is just one hit away. Anyway, the goal difference wise, ooh.
Lovely. Holy Nova going to get triple stun there from Grace, and Yamaken Defense going to land onto a monkey. There was no crucible available. One monkey's going to fall, and Shingy once more going to dive into Truffy's to get a nice barrier and just be able to get away. Truffy's and Argudai going to go to their sanctuary. Echo has now been picked up on Lyra. Fusion of Truffy's, the Popeyes are going to get a third turret where they probably wouldn't have before. They only expected to get 2 turrets with that because Truffy's has so much Kraken damage as well as Iron You Die. They both take Kraken very quickly because Koshka managed to ult one Monkey when the block wasn't there, and managed to kill Lyra really quickly. That meant Truffy's and Iron You Die had to just back off. They just couldn't. They couldn't fight. They couldn't try and stop the Kraken taking the third turret. So it's a really good push for Popeyes. They get 400 extra gold per team member of them as compared to what Eanix got.
Well, yeah, I'm just looking at across the scoreboards. We actually do see that Truffy's is being hyper leveled, hyper farmed. Just looking at Iron Gruda is sitting at a mere 53 CS as compared to Chingy, who has 83 CS just jungling alone. There is one thing that if the viewers haven't pointed out, and we haven't quite talked about it as well, it's the lack of control coming up from the side of Iron Gruda whenever he afterburns it. He afterburns it, and it's not the lack of control per se, but it's almost as if Iron Gruda, whenever he afterburns, there are a few times, okay, Tessa Boy is going in.
This was going to go in, but Koshka's Koshka's now free to engage. Oh, he wants to go to Truffy, he's going to get onto Monkey to try and close the gap, and Truffy's just going to poke from afar, get some broken myth stacks with those Spitfires. Good poke onto Aeon. Aeon with a full Aegis though. Truffy's isn't going to be that bad. Only never not going to land. That was boots used by Truffy's to get away. Yep, defense, he was blocked quite easily by a Redie. Shiggy got 880 heal. There's the Echo on the intervention. Tenbo's got it up again. Echo not available for another 40 seconds. So Popeyes is going to back off. They used pretty much everything they could to try and engage, but Eanix used everything they could to disengage, and they'll be fine. Glaive with his 3 damage items, a bit of defense on Adagio, still no Aegis on Koshka. It's risky. Scarf, Truffy's again going for that glass cannon, Crystal Power Mage. Eve, Frostburn, Broken Myth, and Clockwork. It's the standard 4 items. Shatterglass has seen not a lot of use on Crystal Power Mages recently because the utility you get from Frostburn, Eve, and Broken Myth, you just need those 3 items. And so Clockwork gives you cooldown and Crystal Power amplification that you might as well just not bother with the Shatterglass, even though, unless you go 5 damage item.
Well, yeah. I mean, Iron Gruda on this glaive hasn't been lending a lot of the crucial afterburns, I must say. And although like people go like, oh, but you know, he's doing well. His afterburning and his initiating. Problem with all of his initiate is that it's either he put himself in a very unfavorable position. If not, then he goes in and he punts the main carry away from the team, like what he's doing with Grumjaw and using staff as well. Like when he was on Grumjaw, he stuffed that carry away from the team fight. As with but then the problem with staff is that you can bring one entire team, right? So you force it into a 2v2. But then if you are a glaive, you go in, you put yourself in, you jeopardize your position as a carry for your team as well. They are going to start cracking. The side of Eanix will find out.
It'll be spotted, and Truffy's wants to steal this. Scarf's good at securing cracks. That's good. The opponent did land. Tony Nova not going to be connecting on Truffy's, and that's going to be Aeon almost falling. He's surviving just about, but he's going to pick up the kill, and Scarf will probably get that Kraken with Dragon's Breath. There it is. Scarf gets the Kraken. Shiggy's going to fall. Just the arcane passage, white ball walk, not up. Shiggy's going to go through the arcane passage. So Truffy's gets trolled by the arcane passage. Oh no! And Shiggy will survive. There's no scout traps to kill her. She'll be able to port home in the bush without any trouble. And to be fair, that was a Kraken going over to Eanix. He'll be happy with that. He got a kill onto Aeon. They showed that they could kill Aeon despite the fact he healed for so long. He survived. Just his health going down and up so much. Glaive can secure that because he has the damage to do so. Lovely snare onto Shingy. Truffy's will be able to get a lot of poke onto mainly Tesla Boy actually. Glaive has fallen. Aeon is actually back up, so Truffy's immediately noticing that, bootsing away. Truffy's is now going to try and poke this turret down. Not going to land onto the turret, just stopping any engage, and that's the Dragon's Breath. And Popeyes realise we can't take this Scarf when she's Dragon's Breath, using her Dragon's Breath. We're just going to let the Kraken get that turret, and we're going to back off. Truffy's once more just going to poke out really, try and make this Kraken get a couple of shots on the first main crystal turret. But I doubt Truffy's is going to go anywhere near overextending. Glaive is ready. So if Popeyes do dive into Eanix, there was a Glaive ready to afterburn and get them into position. Aeon is now fully built, so that's a big power spike for him.
Well, yeah, I mean, both of the teams, their base have been cracked open by Kraken, and just going back again, looking at the goal difference, there is none whatsoever. I agree with that. Is now just farming up, just hoping to get his item soon, his defensive item soon, so he could stay in the fight for a little longer. He has gotten that tier 2 boots, and then Atlas Pauldron has yet to complete that Aegis. But then, like you said, Aeon on that Adagio is starting to look very scary with completed items, with Aegis, Journey Boots, Shift into Tyrants, Tension Bow, and then of course the Breaking Point, just for the long sustained team fights that they are going in. We do see though, if they actually just focus on Aeon, there is really nothing that Chingy can do. Because Tezza Boy, although he has got an echo on that Divine Intervention, it is one burst heal that can miss, and then Tezza Boy is going in.
Holy Nova nowhere near landing. He's going to use that pure sigil speed boost to get out of the Holy Nova stun from Tezza Boy. And now Eanix, really good disengage. They've got a Lyra. They have one of the best heroes for disengage with Lyra, and especially with Glaive to pun Shingy away if it gets close. Shingy actually going for the double coat of plates, which is good against this Glaive. I expect one of them will turn into an Atlas, and one of them turn into a Full Metal Jacket. But she's actually going to just get her boots back up again, so they're available, and just pop an infusion. So not yet, maybe just sticking on those 2 coat plates instead of going for any tier 3 defense, because if you have slots available, it's pretty gold efficient to do so.
It is definitely. They are looking to take this Kraken. I think the next fight would be around this Kraken. They are just refreshing their infusions on both teams. We are looking at 6 infusions across the board. We are definitely going to see a team fight really soon, or in the next minute or so.
There is no gold lead for either team. It's
exactly. It is dead even.
Dead even. 23 minutes in. You hardly ever see that. Shingy's going to get a lot poked in the group, and then the afterburn just preemptively, if Costa tries to dive in and get the punt Adagio, you haven't got the first, going to be blocked up nice and easy. Yeah, Divine Intervention on Shingy, and that's Glaive going low. And that's Imperial Sigil to keep Glaive healthy. Both teams, again, someone tries to dive in, but Eanix have such good disengage. There's still an Arcane Passage from Lyra, so they can disengage even easier. And everything's back up for Eanix, but not quite for Popeyes. Gosh, he's having to get the up another 20 seconds. The Echo is up another 30 seconds. This is going to be a good fight for Eanix. They're under Sentry. They have all the abilities up. And Popeyes are going to try to take the Sentry down, but he's going to have to back off. Gosh's ult is up soon. Grace's ult is also up soon. So Eanix, if they try to continue poking out, then Popeyes could try and turn on them. But I think Eanix is going to try and sneak it. They're going to get it. Popeyes have no idea.
Eanix is going for that cheeky Kraken, and I saw just now the side of Popeyes could actually have won that team fight, because Crucible was up, Aegis was up for Tezza Boy, not Aegis, sorry, what is that called? Fountain was up for Tezza Boy, Bennett, Divine Intervention was up for Tezza Boy, and yet the only fell back because Divine Intervention landed on Chingy instead of Aeon. And that was the main reason they fell back. Anyways, Popeyes is looking. They are looking.
They're waiting, and they're not going to go for it. They're being boring. They're going to take back down. But minions are actually pushed into the turret, but I doubt they'll do anything. Scarf they couldn't really overextend, and now it's going to be at Frenzy. Going to land onto Glaive. Wasn't blocked up. Scarf used the block, but it wasn't on Scarf. Arguda going very low. Daja going to get good basic attacks off. Truffy's going to boot in. Because of the war treads from Bub Monkey, and Truffy's is happy. Just take the poke, let them try and kill me. We've got Kraken banging on your crystal turrets. But I mentioned landing on Koshka, but that's the first turret down. And Popeyes realise they want to base rush if they win this team fight, but they're not going to. Aeon's so low. They're just going to go in. Aeon with the full, there's a mention. Another one for Grace. She seems to have them all the time with that Echo. And Popeyes are going to try and chase. Truffy's is so happy with this. The Kraken's taking the turrets down. He's going to get the kill onto the That's going to be killed by Truffy. Tezza Boy's going to fall. Double for Glaive. That will be the Kraken taking the turret. And that is game 2 for Eanix. And they have the chance now to get out of the bottom 3.
They do indeed. That is a really good game, and in fact, a really close one between Eanix and Popeyes. It was really interesting as well in the last fight, because we saw something that we usually would not see, and that is Travis was just allowed free poke. And there was this one time I saw two groups that's on fire for the side of Eanix. And that's really rare. I mean, that fight went on for so long. But